Hi traders, in this video I'm going to teach you how to trade pound yen, especially if you are a new trader in the market. So first of all, we need to understand what is pound yen. Okay, now pound yen is actually a derivative of the two major currency pairs. Those major currency pairs are the pound versus the US dollar and the US dollar Japanese yen. And the way pound yen essentially moves is by those two major currencies moving. So for instance, if we had pound US dollar moving to the downside and dollar yen moving lower, then pound yen will be moving lower. If we have a scenario where the opposite happens, pound US dollar is rallying, dollar yen is rallying to the upside, then pound yen will trade higher. If you have a situation where the pound is, let's say, moving lower, but the dollar Japanese yen is moving sideways, then you can often see pound yen also continue to move lower in those kind of circumstances. So I'm going to teach you today how you can use those two major currency pairs to spot potential opportunities on pound yen. So let's go straight into it then. I've got three charts in front of me. I've got the pound Japanese yen on the right hand side. In the top left hand corner, I've got pound US dollar. And in the bottom left-hand corner, I've got US dollar Japanese yen. And we're going to take a look at the most recent example of this fall here that happened on pound yen. So if I just grab this rectangle tool, I'm just going to highlight this move that happened within the markets. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, we talked a lot about the fundamental plays within the Japanese yen, but this isn't going to be this type of video. This is going to be for those that may be a little bit more familiar with technical analysis, okay? Now, what's important is we understand that what we need to see in this type of move, right? So if the dollar yen is moving lower and the pound US dollar is moving lower, it will create the move that we saw here that formed around about the sort of start of July. It was the 10th of July down to the 5th of August. Okay, so let's kind of highlight a similar area in here. So this was the price of the pound, okay, in the top right hand corner, top left hand corner here. And if we go and to the sort of 5th of July here to the sort of 5th of August, we'll just kind of do like a monthly span there. And we'll do the same here for the Japanese yen, okay, which was around about this little move in here, okay. So what's interesting about this market is we got a little bit of a mixed signal originally, right? So on the, if I just grab that tool there, on the 5th of July, all the way up into the 16th of July, pound US dollar actually rallied, okay? And if we go and have a little look at what happened to pound yen from that time, we had the 5th of July to the 16th of July, and we pretty much stayed range bound, okay? There wasn't much really going on at that point. And that was despite the fact that the Japanese yen was already moving lower, okay? And this is why it's important to use both currency pairs, okay? So if I look at where the 5th of July was here on the Japanese yen and go to the 16th, you can see it already made around about a 500 pip move to the downside, okay? Yet pound yen had hardly moved, okay? And the reason being is because pound US dollar was rallying, okay? Now, if we expected pound yen to flip, what you can do is try and spot levels of support and resistance on both currency pairs, right? So if we look at pound US dollar, we can see there was a level of resistance coming up at 1.3, and we expected the price of cable to pull back at that point down towards the 127 handle. And you can see as soon as we start getting that move there, so again, if I just start showing you those dates there, you've got the 18th of July all the way down into the 7th of August, we've had a move lower. Well, really, the move started kicking on around about that 17th, 18th of July. And you can see it really compounded after that move to the downside. So what you really want to be doing when you trade pound yen is you actually want to trade pound US dollar versus the dollar yen as your sort of screener. So let's say you were focusing on gold, for instance, you'd have the dollar index next to you because you'd be looking at the correlation between those two assets, right? No different here with pound yen. If you want to trade pound yen, what I would say to you is set your screen up like this. If you're a day trader of pound yen, set your screen up like this. Have a little look at how pound US dollar is trading. Have a look at how dollar yen is trading. and then try and look for opportunities. Now, what's really interesting about pound yen at the moment is that we've been in this downward trend, but price has been pulling back. But what do you notice about pound again? It's coming into another strong level of resistance. So if we were to get a rejection of this resistance and price starting to move lower, we can already see dollar yen is moving to the downside. This would cause pound yen to start moving lower. So I would be looking now to see how does price react at this 1.3 level. If we get a rejection, can we go and look at other pound pairs like the pound yen for opportunities? Thanks for watching this video. I really hope it helped you and your journey with pound yen. If you did like it, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. I'll speak to you soon.